The whole concept behind Access is that it's access for communities to be able to get their message on TV. And if you were to take that away, I mean, it would be terrible. I think that community access television is even more relevant now in the age of the internet, but it all comes down to the producer, it all comes down to the show itself. For us, our social media channels, our online presence, that's something in addition to the TV show, but the TV show is almost, I don't know, it's all part of the package. I don't think that we would have the success on the show that we've had if it weren't for the fact that we are so active on social media and we do have such a strong web presence.
She's the entire show. The rest of us are just like, it would be like you have a cathedral and there is the cathedral, and that's Rebecca, and the rest of us are just kind of inside running around. Rebecca is all of it. The rest of us are just props on the stage of the Rebecca show. That's what this is about. Without Rebecca, the show doesn't exist.
Without volunteers, community access can't run. The Huddle can't run. Our entire crew is volunteer run, and if we didn't have them, then I mean, we'd be hooped. So it's really, there are limitations, but within those limitations, it's actually a strength because we find the right volunteers, the right people. Being here at Shaw is the right connection. We have sports lovers who are on camera, so we've kind of turned that limitation into a strength. The Huddle is unique because we focus on the amateur athlete first. Just because you're professional doesn't mean that you're more important to us when you come on the show. And in fact, the entire purpose of the Huddle is to make the athletes who play this game feel like the stars that they actually are. There are some incredible stories for athletes in this province.
Mainstream media has completely ignored amateur sport in this community now for probably 10 years. There was a sports editor in this city who looked at Rick Hankiewicz, the commissioner of the Winnipeg High School Football League, and told him, "You are not news." So if the mainstream media is going to ignore it, treat it like it's not worthy of the space in their paper or on their television networks or on their radio stations, if that's the position they're going to take, then somebody has to come up and say, we think this is important, we think the kids are important, we think the parents are important, we think the coaches are important. Somebody's got to pick it up and say, we're going to do this, and the only place you can do that is public access television.
There's the response from the parents, the response from the coaches, the response from the community itself has always just been really great. I've heard things from nothing has done more for the football community than the Huddle has done for the football community, to bring amateur football to light and to the eyes of the rest of the community. So it's been fantastic. It has been, like I said, a tremendously positive experience.
People watch this show that don't necessarily have kids playing high school football. There's a lot of people who went to high school and they want to see what the St. Paul's Crusaders are doing, or the Churchill Bulldogs, or the Oak Park Raiders. You got to understand that every kid who's on has probably 3 aunts and uncles, or 4, and grandmas and grandpas, and in some cases their uncles themselves, or aunts when we have the women on. The reality is that you start out with the family group, and then you go to the high school group, and then the high school group becomes the total high school group, and suddenly people in Winnipeg get interested in it.
I think that the internet is helping to make community television more relevant. On top of that, it's helping to bring people to Shaw TV, because everybody wants to watch themselves on TV, and then as soon as they see themselves on television, because I mean that's our cultural, right? That's where our world is going and where it's gone over the last several decades, where there's still that thrill. It doesn't matter if it's Access or if it's CNN. If you're on television, that's cool.